Can you hear me, Len?
Yes, sir, I can. How are you?
Okay, good. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Livermore.
Livermore, California, back in my old stomping ground.
Yes, I listen and watch you all the time. I just never decided to chime in and say hi. So
Yeah,
hi.
well, that's the way of doing it. Wait a minute, let me hold on a second. I got somebody else coming in here. He's in the waiting room, and now we'll bring him into the fold. Uh,
How are you
yeah,
doing?
there we
Doing all
go. Hey, good. Where are you calling from?
right? I'm in Livermore.
Livermore, California. Len, I think you have your audio on from the thing.
No,
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me try
no,
something here.
that's on your end.
Let me see here.
Oh, now I can't hear you. You were locked up.
Mute.
There you are.
There we are. And now I've got to go. Hey, good. Wait, oh, I see. That's why that's okay. This is the first time I've done this way, and what it is the signal. It's actually the playback from the you see
Right.
what I'm listening to there. Rodney, where are you calling from?
I'm from Reno. I'm in Reno.
Reno, Nevada. My first radio job was in Reno, Nevada.
Oh God.
I've heard you tell stories about your father at the Mapes, but I don't recall your broadcasting stories.
Well, here's what happened. When I was a kid, my father was with a band, Eddie Fitzpatrick's orchestra, and their home every summer was Reno, Nevada, and the Mapes Hotel. Later on, they went to play at the Riverside Hotel. Maybe you don't know the Riverside because the Mapes was there almost till they tore it down, I think, a few years ago.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Brian Neary. Hold on. I have to always keep looking. Remember to keep looking up there. Brian Neary is our is an expert on all things. Well, not all things coronavirus. Get yourself in the center of the frame there, Brian. You're kind of there. Oh, there. We
audio and everything set.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this this works. This works pretty good, actually. Tell you the damn truth.
It works really good because my boss thinks I'm logged in on a meeting right now. Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Yeah. If anybody wants to call, right up there. See, right up there. There's the address. See. It wasn't difficult for any of you to get in, right?
Oh, not at all.
Yeah. If you have Zoom, it asks you to paste a thing in your browser if you don't have Zoom installed. Okay. But otherwise, it's a pretty easy proposition. So
what did your dad play in a band?
He played violin.
My dad was a trombonist. He used to play for Jimmy Dorsey back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yep. Long. And I still have his trombone here. I actually played it in high school, the same trombone. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool, man.
My father basically was he always used to say, well, they say, what do you do for a living? He says, I play the fiddle.
Well,
yeah. And he was a journeyman musician. He would play one day, be playing the opera, and the next day be playing a Broadway show at the Current Theater. Which one was the musical theater? I think it was the Current. Yeah. And then other nights he'd be working with a dance band on top of Nob Hill. So that's what he did for a living. One night it was playing with Sinatra. The next night it was playing with a dance band somewhere.
Yeah, they back they were Brooklynites, my mom and dad back in the day, and he tells me all the stories about just going to see Sinatra for a few dollars or something at the local place. Probably wasn't even a few dollars; it was probably $1. And my mom worked at Saks Fifth Avenue on Fifth Avenue, and used to sell jewelry to every person you could name that was a star in the 50s and 60s. You name her, like Marilyn Monroe, the Shah of Iran, of Sinatra, every single one. That was incredible. I want to write it all down so I can remember this stuff. And she's 92 and won't do it.
Yeah. I wish I had done more. I'm to anybody who's listening to me, and I say this is now as an old guy, that when I was younger, what I wish I had done was that I had sat down with my family and just said, tell me some stories,
Yeah.
tell me about where you were born and what it was like then and so on.
Yep.
I never asked those questions.
Yeah, we should.
I mean, my father would tell me that he had come from Germany and Poland, and that he came over here. And my mother would say that she was born here, but her parents came from such and such. But outside of that, I never really asked any questions about, what it was like when you're growing up. I never asked what I considered to, well, I did finally. Yes, I did. I said, the question we never want to ask our parents are, how was I conceived?
Yeah.
Where was I conceived?
What position were you in?
Yeah. And you ask that question for a very good reason. That you don't ask that question rather for a very good reason, because you really don't want to know. And I got my answer was we got a new apartment. We were waiting for the furniture to come. And so on the floor, we decided to have sex.
Oh man.
So
Did they still have the furniture?
Huh?
Did they still have the furniture?
I had no idea.
At least they didn't say that.
Yeah. But it makes you wonder about, like you want to hear some wonderful story like, well, we were so madly in love that under a moonlight night, we made love to each other and you were conceived. No, you get an answer like, 6 more inches and 2 more inches and you would have been a butt fuck. You don't want to hear that kind of thing. So I'm very happy to say that I was at least conceived on the floor while they were waiting for the furniture to come.
Have you written down your stories? I know you did those chronicles back a while ago. Is that's your legacy there?
That's pretty much my legacy. I haven't done the third part of the I've Got Cancer yet because I just been, I don't know, too tired to do it, but to talk about the seeds and all of that, but I guess that's my legacy. I guess I haven't told every story, every now and then I'm thinking about some story that, I didn't talk about that,
My son and I really enjoyed those.
Yeah, but you did enjoy them?
Yeah, very much so.
What happens though is that you should ask, while they're still alive, ask people in your family the questions that need to be asked. I'll tell you the opportunity I missed. My ex-wife, Susan, came from a family who were they were Jewish radicals. Oh, hold on a second. Andrew Deutsch is waiting in the waiting room. If I don't keep on top of this, the reason I have a waiting room, by the way, is because, hi there, Andrew. Oh, and look, he's using the background. What is it?
In the Philippines.
Yeah, right.
Of
No,
course.
where are you calling from?
I'm in Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. Okay.
Same thing.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I haven't put those things in back of me because for you, look, for some of the people who are joining, it really looks good. It looks terrific.
Is that better?
Yeah. Now you're an.
Here we go. This is my new personality.
Yeah. Okay. Is that a real picture of Reagan or is that a Photoshop?
I have no idea. It just makes me happy. He's such an asshole.
Something? I hate these people who tell me that Reagan was such a great guy.
No, he's flipping up hippies in that picture in Berkeley.
Yeah.
I'm back in Cleveland.
Oh, is that a real picture?
Yeah, it is.
It is. Oh, okay.
I had no idea. I just thought it was funny. There's another one that's questionable too. Here you go.
Oh, jeez, that's great.
By the way, that one's got to be
I don't think that's real. Yeah. Anyway,
But by the way, I heard it's not a good idea to show your nipples on Zoom. People get upset.
Well, now he's turning it into a comedy routine.
Right, yeah.
No, the comedy
Take that on
routine
the
is this
road.
one.
Have you guys heard about these disruptors on Zoom?
Oh God, we're going to get corona just looking at those bats.
Right?
No, this is the new product I'm bringing to the market, Alex. It's actually a plant-based bat. I can't believe it's not bad. All the crunch, all the flavor, none of that Corona aftertaste.
Does anybody have a drum we can do a rim shot?
That's it. I'm done now.
This is amazing, Brian. None of these people ever call the other show.
Yeah.
Never call the other show.
You guys watch it at all or listen later for playback?
I do, yeah. I
I'll
totally
listen later.
Because what happens is this may be easier to use than Skype. People have to kind of learn how to use Skype. This thing, I just give you a link and boom, you're there.
Yep.
Yeah, and being unemployed now, I have free time during the day to talk to you.
Well, what do you want to? Are you unemployed because of the virus?
Absolutely, yeah.
What are you unemployed having done?
I'd love to tell you something interesting, but I was a project manager for a staffing company. There's not a lot of staffing going on right now.
I see.
Where are you out of?
I'm in Livermore, California.
Yeah.
We're looking.
Yeah.
You're looking for a staffing guy?
Everything right now. We
What?
have the new
Wow.
facility in Lodi that we're looking, and then we have the new building in Newark that I was in last week. And if they're all empty shells, we're looking for replicas of our current factories.
Well, if you're not going to be rehired, you got to get a hold of Brian.
I guess so.
What company are you at, Brian? What's it called?
Cepheid.
Huh?
Cepheid. CEPHEID.
Oh, I've heard of that. I may have even applied to a job or two there recently.
Well,
And we got an email. We got an email today, and we're not supposed to talk on social media about any more of our numbers, any more of our new products, or anything.
yeah.
So is this, Alex? Is this social media, or is this like 20 of us talking all the time?
This is anti-social media.
Yeah.
Joe has
in
just
the
joined
testing
us.
company.
Hello, Joe. You have a camera there you can turn on, which would be really nice. Joe, can you hear us, Joe?
He might not know he's on mute.
Look, wait a minute, he's on mute. Hold on, I'll unmute him.
Oh,
Hello, Joe, are you there?
Yeah, all you're gonna hear is
Joe, are you there?
he hit the wrong meeting.
Could be. Well, and I'll just get rid of Joe because he's not here.
Joe.
Remove. Hello, Joe. I'll give you one more. Oh, he hung up himself, so I didn't have to do it. But anyway, we were talking about things, going and talking to people around you. And the thing I missed was that my ex-wife's father was how can we describe him? A Jewish radical.
yeah.
And all the people around him were, and they were part of a thing called the Jewish Socialist Bund, which was a group of people who believed, they believed in the diaspora. They believed that you spread ourselves all over the earth and take our culture wherever we go, rather than be all in the same place again where they can get us. And so he went to Israel and probably would have been the first prime minister of Israel, but because he was a Bundist, they were the Bundists were the literal political enemy of the Zionists. And so they would get together every Passover, and they had their own kind of Passover service in which they talked about, the concentration camps and being delivered from them, and use that as the delivery story. But anyway, my wife said, why don't you, because I had video equipment and stuff like that, why don't you guys go ahead and do this? Why don't you get together with them and ask them to tell their stories? And I never did. And I wish I had. The closest I came to it finally was getting to know Jack Garfein, who had been in Auschwitz and actually 11 different camps. And
Wow. They couldn't hold a job?
He's getting a good older job. He was in 11 different camps, and if you want to, you can go to my on demand on gabnet.net, and there are the 2 interviews I did with him, and they're really quite fascinating. And then he came into this situation when he came to the United States. He became a very important
Producer? Is he producer?
Director on Broadway. I was just getting all kind of confused trying to do stuff here and do stuff there. But he discovered people like James Dean.
Can you imagine back in the day? I know, I used to come see you when you were.
Hello to Mandy, by the way. Yeah.
Hi, Mandy. I used to come watch your show every once in a while at the Quake or whatever, and I would talk to you offline. I'm sure you don't remember about your video toaster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Imagine that. Look where we're at just 20 years or so.
Well,
later.
the video toaster, let me explain to people, was a video studio in a box, a switcher and everything that you could just use. You could put it installed on your computer. It was software with a hardware component. And it literally was the father of all desktop video.
Yeah.
And so today we can do what they did with that hardware, all with software, because the computers become so powerful. I mean, look at what we're doing here with Zoom.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm a complete fan of Zoom. I saw it being used last night at our tenants meeting, and people were running videos and showing graphs and doing things like that. And it is so much better than Skype. But for my show, I need to use Skype because it's easier for me to manipulate and put a background screen and put the people where I want them and, things like that. This, I just turn it on. There I am. And I talk to everybody, but I can't do a production thing. I can't bring in videos and like that.
Hey, Alex, just to put it out there, Skype for Business is going away. It's converting to Teams.
Yeah.
And the regular Skype is going to go through some sort of a transition to try to force people over to Teams also. So
really
keep your options open.
I know I always have this if I need it. This is a quick and cut and paste version of what I can do,
Yeah.
But there's also no Facebook. There's no chat, right? There's no chat for other people to be chatting on while we're talking.
On what? On Facebook?
On Skype. Skype has that from YouTube, right?
Yeah. People are saying things like, isn't Zoom a Chinese company? Is it? Anybody know?
Yes. Really? Yeah, I'm not sure if it's Chinese or Taiwanese, but yeah, it's an Asian.
Really? Because
it's here though, right? It's in Silicon Valley, I think.
During this coronavirus, it has become a major force.
Oh my God.
It's become the kind of symbol of the times. Skype must be pissing their pants.
Yeah.
They were joking. Was it Hassan Minaj was saying they've had 17 years in the market and Zoom ate their market in less than 6 months.
Yeah.
People say, oh man, let's Skype have we're gonna have a Skype meeting or let's Skype tomorrow. Okay, I'll send you the Zoom link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teams came too late, and then them merging with Skype was too late in the game.
I've been using Skype for 16, 17 years. When I was overseas, it was the only way to do.
Skype is the victim, I think, of what we call the normal thing that happens to companies that have a prominence. Somebody comes along with a better idea.
Exactly.
And I said to somebody, this is going to be a day when one day we're going to go, did you ever think that Facebook would disappear?
Right.
Or did you ever I may not be around for that, at my age, but it's going to come. Microsoft was once a major player in this business, and now they're just one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, all these companies have the no matter how big they are at the time, and Skype was very big because it was free. So is this. But it isn't free because I'm paying $14.95 a month to be able to get it like this because I can manipulate stuff. How are you doing, Mandy? You're where again? I forget. You're in
I'm in Atlanta, outside of Atlanta.
outside of Atlanta.
Yeah, I jumped on. I was like, Alex's show is going on right now at 4:15. What? I didn't understand what was happening. So
Good
you
work.
just do some pop-up Zoom meetings, basically.
Well, basically, for now, I mean, this is working out so well. I love the fact that, except for Brian, nobody here are the people that are on my shows usually. You know,
I'm usually asleep, unfortunately.
Yeah, me
I have
too.
to catch them later.
yeah.
Long time listen.
Then Andrew, of course, Andrew comes with his comedy routine about backgrounds. So, you know, and
Mandy, are you at work?
Yes, I am. I'm a mom.
Yeah, it looks like
I had to go shut the door. I was an essential employee the whole time, so I was actually coming in the office.
Same here. I just left at noon, and then I saw, just before I left, I saw Alex's post. And then I said, hey, well, actually, this will work because if I'm at work, I just log on like normal. I have my own office and just close the door, and everybody will think I'm in a meeting. And I have a sign out there that says in Zoom. So
sorry, but if somebody yells at Mandy, what are you doing? You just yell back, I'm on Zoom right now.
Well, yeah, actually, my boss is probably on a Zoom call right now, and he does the same thing. He'll stick a sticky on his door that says on Zoom.
Yep.
It's just
That's
on
what I
all
do.
day.
So that's another new normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think of all these reopenings? I mean, I had a thought last night. I thought of this virus, which is a microbe, which of how do you describe it, Brian? It's a microbe, right?
big profits for us.
He's in the business of creating the you have that little
Blood test.
you know, when you get a blood test, they take the sample, the DNA, they put it in this thing, and then that's what you send out to be tested. It's a little test collector.
Yeah, and actually our stuff replacing all the blood culture tests, like the stuff we did with Bill and Melinda Gates for TB, that was replacing a 123-year-old blood culture test. And that would take 3 weeks to get. So by the time they do that in Africa, you know, they get people, the tribes are walking to a central place to get tested, especially the babies. By the time they leave and they get their test results, they can't even find the people anymore. So now our stuff, they're on motorcycles with these instruments, and they go out to the tribes, and when they test them, they tell them to wait there. In 45 minutes, they have a test for tuberculosis, especially with the babies, because you know it's depending on if they're giving them a hard antibiotic or if they're just going to give them some light medication to go back. So it's really important for them.
Look at Andrew.
What?
He's
You
got
need,
to
you need the floating coronavirus like, you know, CNN does in the background.
The market, as crazy as it was, Alex, I had to invest in something.
Here's the thought that I had, okay? And Rodney, just jump in anytime you want to, by the way, Rodney. I hear you've been a little quiet. Just anytime you want to join the conversation. But anyway, I had this, I thought about the virus as being like an alien that has invaded the world. And that's really what it is. I don't know if it's an intelligent life form, but it certainly is a life form that has invaded the world and caused change. And then I thought about all these people that are opening up and thinking it's a wise thing to do, saying, well, we've been open up 3 days and look, nothing's happened. Well, let's talk about 14 days from now, okay? And I thought about the guy in the science fiction movie who said, don't go into the woods, he's still out there. You know, I think that's how I feel about it. You know, that I'd like to run out to those beaches and say, everybody, not yet. You know,
I was on a boat yesterday at the lake, and there's like a recreation park, and it was just full of people. And I was like, I mean, I was on a boat. Yes, I was out, but I was with a few people.
Yeah.
I was like, well, people, did you know that there was a pandemic going on?
Georgia's one of the first ones to really lighten the restrictions, though, huh?
Yeah, it was just weird. It was weird how everybody.
But the numbers in Georgia have gone up, right?
I thought that they had actually, the people around me have been whispering in my ear that they were plateauing or they were leveling off. But I'm hearing all kinds of different stories.
Yeah. Well, Texas has reported their largest increase
Yeah.
since this whole thing began, the largest one-day increase.
I'm afraid there's going to be a boomerang and it's going to be uglier than it is now.
See, I think what our governor is doing here in New York, which is terrific, is he's been kind of easing into it. And his idea is, I don't care about what I think. I don't care about what you think. Opinion doesn't matter here. What matters is the science.
Yeah.
And you've got to look at the science. You've got to look at, is there an increase? Are we getting more people going to the hospital because we opened up? He said, we got to do this measured and see what happens. So
Yeah.
he just opened up kind of the western part of the state to see what happens. In New York City, we're still locked down tighter than my father used to say, a cow's ass at fly time.
Yeah, Newsom was on while I was driving home from work.
Yeah.
And they're starting to loosen up some of the restrictions right now. They're going county by county, like New York is. But when you think about it, it really is a county by county issue, because California is sort of like New York, where there's these other counties that are out in the boonies that they can lighten up. But then there are also, like Butte County, they have a lot of meat processing plants also.
Yeah,
So they do want to keep, he says there's about 5 or 6 counties that they still want to keep tight for the next few weeks. But the other ones are starting to loosen up, and Newsom's saying this is a modification from his original plan. So we'll see what happens. I'm still staying home for a few weeks, though.
The challenge is we're all mobile. So, on Saturday, I decided for the first time this year, it was the first nice day I put my kayak in. And I showed up at the place to put the kayak in. I was wearing a mask. I was the only one in a mask. I got called a libtard. I wanted to fight me.
What the
I wanted
hell?
to fight me. He told me that I was a fool, drunk, tattooed, beer in hand.
Who was it?
Wow.
There's some guy at the place I was throwing my kayak in at the county park.
Oh, wow.
It's so sad that it's politicized.
Yeah,
That's
but
what gets me.
We're two tribes. If you're a Trumpster, then the mask is a Democrat hoax to get him out of office.
Absolutely.
And if you have a brain, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's the other thing that Cuomo keeps just harping at. He said this has become political, and it shouldn't be. This isn't a political thing. You just got to do the right thing, and that's not right or left. And he says, I'm a Democrat, I'm a liberal. He said, but I want to save the lives of everybody in my state.
But the politicization of it is coming from the top.
Yes.
Trump is doing it.
Douche Jr. was on what's her name, Piero's show, saying that as soon as the election's over, the Democrats are going to stop talking about this hoax.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I don't know if you're aware, but we found 90,000 actors to pretend to die.
Right.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can do with that Soros money.
What do we hit? 90,000 we've hit, right?
This morning,
Morning.
Yeah.
As
We'll easily make 100,000.
Oh, yeah.
it's going to be much more than that. And the problem is, the basic understanding of it, if you listen to the actual science, it's easy to transmit, and it's, all these people were out. The Wisconsin vote happened, and now there's hundreds of cases tied to it. There were the parties in Florida, cases tied to it. And in reality, the reason we have so many is because of zero leadership at the beginning. We knew about this in November, December, something was happening in China. The president didn't want to screw up his toothless trade deal that does nothing for us. So what did he do? He asked the guy, he says, hey, in China, what's going on? Oh, it's nothing. Oh, we trust China. Then when it finally came to do, he said, okay, nobody can come in the country except Americans, but we have no plan for you when you arrive at the airport. So we had tens of thousands of people in a lobby.
Mm-hmm.
China, all transmitting the disease. Why is Chicago, New York? When it finally came to do, he said, okay, nobody come in the country.
You got to turn that down. Yes, Steve. Yeah. What were you saying? Continue with what you were saying.
Yeah. So we created these incubators at the airports by having no plan for how to keep people separate when they came back in the country.
Well, what Cuomo said, and he's right, is that we were all looking towards the Chinese and the Pacific coast.
Right.
But we did nothing about the Atlantic.
And
that in the time that it
infections
took-
were already there, and we knew it.
In the time that it took Trump to realize that that was a problem, it was about a month and a half. And in that time, 3 million people had come into this country from Europe.
Yeah.
How many of them had COVID? You
Yeah.
know?
Well, the reason that people were screaming it was racist wasn't because he kept saying Chinese. It was because he only banned the Chinese when we saw these infections happening everywhere else in the world.
Exactly.
That's-
Here, wait a minute. Baba is joining us. Hello, by the way, to Steve Bender, who
Hey, Alex.
joined us.
Hey,
Let's
Good
see
to see
who Baba is. Is Baba a real person? I guess. Oh, there's Baba. Are you there, Baba? Can you hear us,
great
Baba?
Who song.
Yeah, I was going to say his last name O'Reilly.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes when you see a name like that, I begin to wonder whether that's for real or not. Hello, Baba. Baba went away. Okay. Yeah.
He was just coming in here to flash out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I do is I created this, and if you call and you wait a little bit before I see that you're suddenly calling, it's because I'm looking here and then I have to look over here, and but you're in the waiting room, so when somebody's in the waiting room, then I move them over. The reason I set up, I can do it so I don't need the waiting room. You could just come right on, but I don't do that because I learned my lesson last time I did.
Last time. That was great.
Somebody Zoom bombed me, which I had never heard about in my life.
What did they do? I didn't hear about that.
Well, all I know is all of a sudden on the screen we saw pictures of penises and vaginas. Okay, and it's because you leave the ability to share screen on. Now, if you look, you can't share your screen
Yeah.
because I've set it up so it won't share screen.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And so the bombers can't come. Damn it!
Well, then I gotta go.
Huh?
See you later.
Who's that?
I'm kidding.
Oh.
You know, a lot of that I have to go.
He was hoping to see a few penises or something, I guess, huh?
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't so much of a hope.
Well, I mean, he could have done something like put a picture up of Trump. Trump, that's more obscene than penises. And
Yeah, well, this is true.
but anyway, what are you doing? You're stamping something. You're doing some work there, right, Mandy?
Oh, she's on mute.
I muted you for a second, so y'all won't disturb. But yeah, I'm trying to be a little productive.
Well, go right ahead. I don't want you losing your job over this. So let me, Steve, where are you calling from again?
I'm downtown, around the Union Square area, Manhattan.
Well, you say downtown. I'm not. Downtown to me is the fashion district in New York City. So
I'm not that much further up, 15th Street.
move your camera up just a little bit so we can see your full face. There you go. There you go.
15th Street.
Oh, okay. So you're in San Francisco.
No, here. Union Square, New York.
Oh, you're in New York.
Yes.
And you're down around 15th Street.
Correct.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're on the Upper West Side, right?
What do you think about our governor? What do you think how the job he's doing?
I think he's, really stepped up. I think he's been a good leader. The only thing, when I do my research, it turns out, I guess, that some of the problems we faced were his fault, right? Taking money away from hospitals and, this and that. But, I think leadership comes in a crisis, and he's certainly, I think doing everything he can. It's the only news I can listen to because it's factual, it's fact-based. And it may be, yeah, he's right.
And you know what he says? I mean, if you want to hold that complaint against him and throw it at him, he'd say, hey, I make mistakes.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Well, I mean, I would love to have a president that says that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a sentient human being, unlike our president, who's a vile sociopath. And that's being kind to vile sociopaths.
Yeah. What is that? Is that your daughter in back of you, Brian?
He's on mute.
You're on mute. Is that your daughter?
This is the other daughter. These are the two I want to keep. The boy, I'm ready to trade.
Ready to trade?
Yes.
Okay, so he's up for sale. Any takers?
Trade, sale, barter, anything.
Can he clean gutters?
Yeah. Yeah. How old's the girl?
12.
12 and
12 and 4, and then the son is 14.
oh wow.
I'm counting down the days when he's outside.
Somebody once described kids as little ticking time bombs that are telling you how old you're getting.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, they're just there as they grow up, you know. I mean, I would imagine if I had kids, I would not believe that one of them was suddenly 14 or
Yeah.
20 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what's happened with my grandkids.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
my
See?
grandson will be 14 this year.
Like I never had any kids. And neither is my wife. It's not because either of us couldn't have kids. We were so selfish we didn't. Okay.
Why is that selfish?
I mean, you know, all I thought about basically was career and my
Well, then you were being unselfish.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't
Well,
try
you
to
want
do
to bring
both.
kids in the world when you can't spend time with them because you're working?
yeah, well, I just figured there was no place for kids in my life, in my career. I don't think I would have gotten as far as I got if I had kids, because you would come to certain crossroads where you were fired or something, and your first thought would be, how am I going to take care of the wife and kids?
Mhm.
Whereas I never worried about that. If I was out of work, then I just suffered being out of work for a while. And then when I found it, happy days are here again. But I don't think I would have made some of the career choices that I made, which were risky at times, if I had a family. So it's not that I wasn't married. I'm on my fourth marriage already. And I'm going to keep doing it until I get it right, you know. But
And she was telling me about that. Yeah.
yeah, my wife and I get up in the morning and then look at each other and go, "Well, this is good. This is about what it's going to be, right?" You know, none of us think. We never mentioned ever divorce in the whole time we've been together, and it's not out of immense love, although I think that has something to do with it. But I think it also has to do with, at our age, what, you're going to sit around and to make a big deal about that? You know, you're going to think in terms of divorce.
You know,
Where'd you say you were again, Rodney?
In Reno, but I'm from Berkeley.
Yeah, Reno. I can't tell people exactly what it's like to live in a gambling town, but it's a very strange kind of two-street road you're on.
You know, it's interesting because the California tribal tourism and casinos has really taken away our tourism here, which is a good thing because the city has relied on its casinos for far too long. You know, now we have Tesla and Amazon coming in, and it's growing in leaps and bounds. The rent is going crazy. The homeless is getting insane. It's, you know, it's everything I left behind in San Francisco and Berkeley back in '93 is happening here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you choose Reno?
You know, I lived out here back in '80, right out of high school. I was working for MGM's Hello, Hollywood, Hello. Quite an extravaganza.
Wow.
Did you ever get a chance to see that, Alex?
No.
No. Well, it's considered the world's largest indoor stage, and it still has that stage today. So it's pretty remarkable in that way. But I just remember, you know, I was from the Bay Area, and I, after living here for a couple of years, I just kept thinking, you know, it was so much easier to live here. No traffic. You've got the mountains, you've got the deserts. It was pretty darn easy to live here comparatively. But that's all gone away over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe I saw Hello, Hollywood, Hello, by the way.
Did you?
So
No,
you-
Alex, I've been wanting to ask you about no clemency for wood. You know, we're not, obviously we're not having a Burning Man this year. So I'd like to hear your words of your experience with that.
Well, I did a documentary of my trip up there. We went up, I think we went up 3 years in a row. In the very beginning, we went like year 9 because most of them were held in the Bay Area, and this was about this. We went the second year that it was on the playa out there, and there were hardly any people. There were maybe 5,000 people, something like that. The first year we went, and then we went a second year, and we kept saying we were going to keep going back till somebody got killed. And we went back a third year, and 5 people got killed.
Oh, wow.
Okay, they were sleeping in their tents, and they were out on the playa, and somebody was driving their car at night with their headlights off, which is a lot of fun to do, Bob. And they ran right over them.
Yeah, I've heard the
And
story.
we said, and somebody else accidentally died from a gunshot wound.
Wow.
But I was there in the days when they had a drive-by shooting range. That was a fun thing. Really, you go to this place, and there were all these stuffed dolls, right? And then you could shoot from your car. I mean, you couldn't hurt anybody out in that playa in those days.
No.
Yeah, that's what they said in Westworld too.
Yeah. No, but you couldn't hurt anybody out on that playa. And what you could do, and I did this once, it was 40 miles long. There isn't a rock, a bump, a mount, and nothing, a hill, nothing for 40 miles. And you could get in your car at night, start driving, turn off your lights, and keep driving. And it really scares the crap out of you.
Yeah.
You know you're not going to hit anything for 40 miles. But anyway, we went back there. The last year I videotaped it. I did a lot of videotaping. And that's what I turned into this documentary called No Clemency for the Wood. I was up there with what's his name from Science Fiction Theater 3000.
Joel Hodgson.
Joel Hodgson and his brother, and also Dana Carvey's brother, Brad.
The video toaster guy.
Yeah. And Brad was the prototype for Garth, I think, who were the two guys? In Wayne's World. He was Garth, and that character was based on his brother.
Wow.
So, it was, I really loved Burning Man in those days. I don't know if I want to have anything to do with it today.
No,
I haven't been since '05, but yeah, I agree. It's a big tourist trap now.
Yeah, and when I went, the entry fee was $32, and now it's something like $500. I don't know how much.
I think it's about 500. Plus, you have to have parking permits now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not fun either.
No.
So what kind of work do you do, Mandy?
Accounting.
Accounting. Oh, so that's why you were with the rubber stamp.
Yeah, I deposited some checks.
So is that what did it say on the rubber stamp? Paid?
No, it was actually saying I was depositing them.
Oh,
I do it on my desktop remotely because of technology.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to the bank anymore. You can just do it from your
I
desk.
often wondered, because I don't know anybody who's an accountant. My wife does a little bit of accounting with her job, but it's only part of her job. But I always wondered, what's it like to play with other people's money?
It's a trip. It's a trip.
Really? I mean,
For
do
sure.
you ever get pissed that it isn't yours?
No, sometimes I just think, wow, this would be really crazy to have this much money. But
Because my wife has situations where she has to move $1 million from one bank to another.
yeah,
And I'm going, that's got to feel terrible. Like you don't want to skim something off the top,
well, trust me, in this organization, there's been some people that have not here, but it's a real estate company. It's got different offices, market centers, and it's happened. I just can't imagine doing that. I just don't have that mindset at all. I just don't understand how people, because everybody always gets caught. You're going to get caught eventually.
yeah.
Of course. It's stupid.
It's so stupid. I
Yeah.
don't understand why people do it.
So so you're in Georgia.
Mhm.
The coronavirus is, are you wearing a mask outdoors when you go out?
When I go places, when I go to the store especially, I mainly just go for myself, and then I go for my mother, and then I saw my mom, and I wear a mask in her apartment building because it's a retirement place.
And do you wear gloves?
I do not do gloves. I just walk in and immediately wash my hands, and then
I always put gloves on.
I just wash my hands as soon as I get there. And Saturday we went to we were going to get food. I was going to get it takeout, and she asked me if she could ride with me. And it's the first time she's been out of her apartment since March 17th.
Hmm.
the building. So I said, well, my sister's probably gonna get mad at us. I said, I think if you're in my car, it'll be like, just wash your hand, you put sanitizer on once you get in my car, and just don't touch anything. And she had her mask on,
Yeah.
and she just sat in the car, and she just wanted to, get out and see the air, like she was just going crazy.
Well, the reason you wear the mask is not for yourself, but for others. It's out of respect for other people. And they wear a mask out of respect for you. It's kind of a reciprocal thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Which is a new kind of social concept that Americans aren't used to.
Oh, people are literally arguing about it. Even the people at my fitness studio, there's 2 camps. And we're not even going to the fitness studio. We're doing Facebook videos, Facebook Live workouts.
Yeah.
But there's even this argument started on the Facebook page about wearing masks.
And my wife is a workout fiend, and it's been driving her crazy that she can't go down and do her.
Yeah, I'm definitely a social exerciser, but I've been doing live video.
Exerciser.
I mean, I like to be around people, but I've been doing it just because that's the way it is right now. But I just can't believe that it's even, there's 2 different arguments for wearing masks and not wearing them. I mean, what's the harm? Just do it.
Exactly. Oh, wait a minute, Kevin. Hold on a second, Kevin.
What do you got to lose?
This is Kevin Stopper, who does our program usually. Hello there, Kevin. I'm sorry. Were you in the waiting room a long time?
Oh, I've been waiting here for an hour and a half. What do you?
Waited so long his beard turned white.
Just like in the doctors.
Oh yeah. No, I mean this is working out okay, But anyway, I know what I was going to say is that my wife works out, and she does spin classes, but
you can't do that.
She was having real fun today. But she went out and she bought a Peloton.
Oh, I was going to say, unless she gets Peloton, right?
Yeah, and now we're saying, why do you need to pay $2,500 a month to the gym?
Yeah.
You just pay $2,500 for this thing. And I've been using it. I haven't used it in the last couple of days, but I've been using it, and it's terrific.
Yeah, you have like challenges with people. Don't they do like different
what
things?
They have is you have this big screen in front of you, and then you have these various people who are trainers, and their various training regimens they have. They have a 30-minute beginners workout, things like that. And they even have live sessions.
Yeah.
So that you can sit there and do it live. And it's somewhat social media, because you see other people who are online at the time you're on and where you position with them and so on. I just do the little, I want to take a bike ride through Austria. I do that. That's my exercise, and I do about 25 to 30 minutes on the bike, and it's that's
the one thing I can't do. It hurts. I mean, I don't care what kind of seat you have.
The seat's terrible. We're getting a cushiony thing to put on the seat, because this seat is killing my ass.
Yeah, it's not comfortable,
and I don't know why they can't make them comfortable. I mean,
I don't either.
What's the reluctance to that? Must you suffer?
Yeah.
How are all of you keeping in shape? Although
is round as a shape, right?
If round is a shape. Well, I mean, I put on about 10 pounds, I think, since this whole thing began. Mainly because, number one, I've had a medical condition that's been treated, taking certain medicines which can put weight on you. But that's not it so much as I'm just sitting home vegetating.
Well, I talked to my 24-year-old daughter, lives in College Station, Texas. She goes to A&M.
Yeah.
She says she's gained 5 pounds. She's young. She says, because I've just been sitting here writing papers and eating, but she was out walking when we were talking. So she was finally getting out. There's so many walkers. That's what everybody does. Walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm eating all the bad stuff.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm eating the bad stuff is because I go, well, I got to give myself a treat for being indoors all the time. Well, I've stopped doing that. I'm back on the diet again. And granted, I lost 60 pounds. So if I gained back 20, I still lost 40 pounds. I'm not going to gripe about that, But
Wow, that's a lot.
uh, what do you do to keep in shape, Brian? You look in pretty good shape.
I have maintained my shape and my pounds. I have 3 kids. What are you talking about? We have so remember, so we have a basketball court in the house outside, and then right outside. So these are the back of the junior high. So we have 8 tennis courts. So we play tennis. We have about 9 basketball courts. They're the soccer fields. So we can run. We can do anything. So we usually get at least 1 hour or 2 hours a day outside. I force them to go outside.
Andrew, do you exercise?
Yeah, I do competitive knitting.
Okay, that's very good. It's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, I'm almost done with the sweater.
By the way, I forgot to ask you what you do for a living, Andrew, because there's something I'm sure you had that has to do with show business.
Nothing.
Nothing, because
No.
you're a very funny guy.
Yeah, no, I was in global trade for years and got up to about 365 pounds from all the travel.
Really?
Decided I needed a life change, so I shifted to just working in domestic and marketing and sales consulting. Dropped 160 pounds and got my life.
160 pounds? That's a whole human being.
Yeah. Tell my plumber.
I lost 160 pounds too, but mine was through divorce.
Yeah.
No, I just I used to fly like 300,000 miles every year. I'd be in 45 countries and just airports and food and hotel rooms. And so, but yeah, I have our company does marketing and sales consultancy, and also I've got a few products that I invented that we're bringing to market.
Yeah. Now, let's see, Rodney, you seem slender. How have you kept in? Are you in quarantine up there? Are you stuck in the house?
No, actually, I'm back at work. I've got my own hair salon. I've been a hairstylist for 33 years.
And they've let your hair salon stay open in Nevada?
Between you and me, it's just a little private deal I'm doing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you haven't had to stay at home. Of course,
I've got a little setup in my garage.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Well, then we have Kevin. Of course, he's a competitive hamburger lifter. How are you, Kevin? What do you, even if you're on the weighty side, you want to keep your weight off, right?
I've actually lost weight, but I haven't been doing anything but baking.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I did 5 sourdough baguettes yesterday.
Really? I made ribs yesterday, but they weren't as good as usual because the rib meat wasn't as good as it usually is. Came out a little on the drier side, even though I didn't change my timing or recipe or anything like that. And Steve, have you gained weight while in?
No. I mean, I've been on a crazy kind of diet. I've lost 60 pounds since last August.
Oh, okay.
And I had no exercise at all, and the weight just comes off on this diet.
What diet is that?
Keto.
Keto? Yeah, basically, I do the low carb diet.
Yeah, well, this is no carbs,
which is the same thing. Keto has certain other little
high fat.
Yeah.
Little protein and no carbs.
That's right.
So you eat a lot of meat, fish,
depression.
Well, what?
What'd you say, Mandy?
No carbs equals no. That just would be sad. No carbs.
It's really hurting.
I thought it would be, and within a week, it was like you feel so much better that you kind of lose your desire for it.
I still don't eat any sugars.
No sugar and no carbs. And it's life changing. I mean, it's not. I don't really care so much about the weight.
I lost 60 pounds. I've gained back about 20.
Yeah, I
lost 60, but I don't want to lose another inch. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even care so much about the weight loss. It's the mental focus and energy that I didn't have before. Right? I thought I had a thyroid condition. I was so sleepy and taking naps. Now it's
yeah,
different.
I've grown kind of fond of being able to climb stairs again.
Oh, there's old Andrew behind him.
Yeah, that's my before and after.
Wow.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was having knee pain. Stairs were hard. That's gone. I think the diet's also very anti-inflammatory. So it really. I mean, I don't want to proselytize for diet, but it's been amazing for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I always have to keep looking, seeing if anybody's calling, because I don't have any. I sometimes somebody like Kevin was in there, and he was in there. Might have been in there for 5 minutes. But I always do this this waiting room deal because, as I say, people go crazy. You know, I don't want anybody bombing me. By the way, see that address up there, folks? If you want to call right now, if you want to be part of this, these are all pretty much new people here. I think you maybe called us once, Andrew.
We've talked many times over the
yeah.
years. I've been in the studio with you at Sirius.
Yep.
I've seen Andrew before.
Yep. Oh, yes, you're the guy. Of course, you came in. Yes, you wanted to see the show being done, and you came to Sirius.
Yeah.
Spent a day with us on one occasion. Did you more than one? I think maybe you did a couple times.
Oh, just once.
Just one.
Christina had invited me in.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, it was quite interesting.
yeah.
It's very
Andrew, didn't you used to sit in at the KITS studios also?
no,
No? Okay.
no, different guy.
Yeah, that was a different experience.
Well, I miss those days. Those were so much fun. I was talking to somebody about supper with Schwartzman one day, just recently.
Yeah,
Great.
And boy, that was fun.
we did them in the Venetian. Were you the one in the Venetian room?
Yep, that's
Yep.
where I was.
Paramount Hotel, beautiful, beautiful venue.
Yep,
Probably the most glamorous ballroom, I guess, in
it was
all of
incredible.
San Francisco, on the top of Nob Hill. And we
Yep.
used to do the show like an old radio show with an orchestra and everything. And the comedian-
God, that was great.
Yeah. Yes, Rodney.
This is probably an old question for you, but I would love to hear some of your old recordings of the KITS morning shows. Are those available anywhere?
Well, actually, we run a thing called, gabnet.net. You can go to our live programs. And we do a thing on weekends called Weekend Flashback. And within those, but you have to listen all day for them, I run some old shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look out for those. Thanks.
Including a couple of those Supper with Schwarzmans. I maybe should figure out a place to put a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
So
that would be
I'll
amazing.
tell you where you can get a lot of it is on, if you have Roku. I have a Roku channel. I have two.
Oh, really?
Gabnet
Don't you have
and
some on
Gabnet
YouTube
TV.
too, Alex?
What?
Don't you have some on YouTube as well?
No, I really haven't put those up on YouTube. No.
Oh, okay.
What's the Roku channel called?
The Roku channel is just simply called Gabnet. Great American Broadcast Network. That's what you
Put it on my TV.
and then also you can Gabnet TV. I think you can go to Gabnet Live or something. I can't remember what the name of it is. I could take a look here.
I'll see that.
Anyway, so we have two Gabnet channels, and the one where we run a lot of the live stream is there, and also we have a lot of those old shows on that particular site as well. So if you have Roku, great. I would have done it for iPhones and for a TV.
How far back do you go? Do you go back?
But I can't. Doing the Mac OS is just bare.
Do you have a lot of the recordings from those days?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I have boxes and boxes and boxes of cassettes.
You need an
Damien
archivist.
has
You
them.
need an
doesn't he?
archivist, Alex.
Yeah, which I put some of them. I have some of them available. Maybe I should just start a whole a site you can go to and hear a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yes, please,
That would be
please,
great.
please.
The other stuff you were doing with Gabnet before, with what's her name, the woman that did the science fiction stuff and comics, Miranda and Revelstoke and those. That's all
Yeah.
done.
Oh,
And
no.
it didn't continue.
Revelstoke Jim, for some reason, started to hate me. I don't know why. He never explained himself. And Miranda was his friend, so she left.
Oh,
Yeah. But I had no hostility towards him. But I don't know what it was. He suddenly went like I had taken advantage of him, and I just simply let him do a show.
Well, one time you were recruiting, trying to get more shows on the network, and then it just sort of ended.
Well, it's kind of hard to recruit somebody to do a show on Gabnet because anybody who wants to do a show, a podcast, pretty much can find a way to do it without having to deal with a middleman like me. I wasn't going to charge anybody,
Yeah, but
And
if somebody wants to
it's
get
true. If you
mentored
think
by
you
a
can
real
do a
pro,
show here, I would love to have more programs.
But think about it, Alex. If someone's going to do it on a podcast, they're on their own. They can get mentored by a guy. The last I heard, you have some experience.
I have a
You
little
might
bit
be
of
able to help
experience.
people with.
I have a little bit of experience, yes. I try to have a little bit.
So why wouldn't someone want to take advantage of you and want to do a show, get Alex's advice and tips and
Yeah.
you know,
Maybe I should charge for that. No.
I don't know. You should. I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, something. I think when it comes to mentoring, let me explain something to you. I was thinking about it the other day, and I said I have nothing to mentor. And here's the reason I'm saying nothing to mentor: is that I did radio at a time when radio was a certain thing, and the radio that I did no longer exists.
No.
Okay, it really no longer exists. Maybe over at Sirius XM to a lesser extent, but I don't consider that radio. I can,
No, it's not broadcast.
yeah. But what I have to, if I were to say hold a class, everything I would have to teach would be so antiquated. There'd be no value to the student. And I'm sure there are people still teaching that. I mean, I'm sure if you go to a college and you go into broadcasting, they give you this whole thing about here's how you do this and you should do that and blah, 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 blah. And I'm going, these guys are going to wind up doing podcasts.
But even if they do,
A whole different
Alex, I don't agree with you. You got nothing to offer to the. You may not be, how to run a morning show, but how to conduct a proper interview.
Well, that I could do for anybody who's running a podcast is how to do a proper interview.
Yeah, but what are the signs? How do you remain interesting and relevant as opposed to go on there, talk me. By the way, guess how great I am. Listen to me.
Well, how do you become? How do you stay relevant? It's impossible. Everybody, I don't care who they are, eventually becomes irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
You manage to keep it for a lot longer than most.
If I'm relevant, I'm relevant to people like you who are older and who have known my history and enjoy having a conversation with me at this point in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
But to somebody who never heard of me, I'm totally irrelevant.
The guys that are successful are the ones that when you agree with them, it's interesting to listen to what they're talking about. When you disagree with them, you have that emotion, but you still stick around and want to hear.
Well, I was thinking of getting a whole thing
There's a
together.
magic to that.
I was thinking of getting a whole thing together and trying to make myself relevant by doing what sells most on YouTube, and that is either play a video game or give makeup tips.
Teach people how to make slime.
Do a tutorial.
There is one woman, I don't know, you may have heard of her, Mandy. One girl, 17-year-old girl, a 16-year-old girl, who gives makeup tips, who has 100 million viewers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't understand that.
It's actually being
I will admit that sometimes I watch Hillary Duff. I follow her. I don't know if you know who Hillary Duff is.
Oh, here comes my wife. I hope she has pants on.
Hey, Marjorie. Hi, Marjorie.
But for some reason, it didn't work.
It didn't work. Bring me your Facebook, iPad. Then it can work.
Can she say hi? Hi, Marjorie.
Bye, Marjorie.
Bye. Bye, Marjorie.
Yeah, that's Marjorie. She'll be back with her iPad. She says she can't get on. I didn't teach her. I didn't train her well.
I was listening to an interview.
Well, what I'm saying is, so this woman with the makeup tips I'm talking about, right, Mandy?
Mm-hmm. I have not seen that particular girl, but I watch Hillary Duff, who's an actress. I don't know if you've
Hillary Duff does it.
She does makeup tutorials just on her Instagram.
Okay.
Just for fun.
Hold on a second.
I'll watch those.
Let me see here. How do we do this? Where do we find my Facebook page?
Facebook.
If I get
I'll do that.
You get the Facebook page.
I was listening to an interview with David Spade this morning.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Marjorie. Bye.
See, I mean, she's starting to become a gray old lady. She just, well, you know, there are two things that seem to be appearing. First of all, a lot of women's hair are going gray because they have no place to get it done.
That's true.
Okay. Right. Are you having that trouble, Mandy?
Well, I had to go box color.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
You go box color. Is that what you
I
call
had to
it?
go to the drugstore.
Here.
Yeah.
Well, if they were still making me come into work,
Me first. Here you are. Here's Alex.
Where there I am. Okay. And here is the meeting ID. Here you go. And then we do that. And then, oh, you don't have Zoom in here, so we have to do
have
this.
Zoom in here.
No, we don't.
Do you want me to show you?
The link is copied. Get it. We'll get you in. We'll get you in. We'll get you in. Don't worry. Don't worry. This is kind of
2.5 months, everyone.
these are the
I
kind,
know.
these are the kind of arguments.
2.5
we
months. And I can't hear you because I don't have any earphones. He's
Let me
going to get
see.
me in and I'll talk to you from
Paste.
another room.
Wait a minute. Paste and go. Okay.
That's why they're going to move all the driver's license
Okay.
bureaus to do marriage licenses. And then every 4 years, you get to decide if you want to renew or not.
Meeting link is copied.
oh, speaking of that, Georgia is not making anybody do road tests right
Yeah.
now.
One.
Oh,
Really?
that's
But
crazy.
there's like
Doing
40,000 teenagers that went out and got their driver's licenses.
Oh, Atlanta, do you-
What? Oh my
Mandy,
gosh.
what part of
Yeah.
Atlanta do you live? Are you outside?
I'm on the north side of Atlanta,
What,
like about 20, 25 miles outside the city limits.
like
From where,
Which
man?
side?
Gwinnett County,
Where?
pardon?
suburban Atlanta, like Gwinnett County. It's a suburban area.
I spent 1.5 years working up in Ball Ground
Oh yeah.
next
Yeah.
to Camp. I can still hear the banjos playing.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's a little bit country. Yeah. I'm
Oh,
north.
it was. Yeah, I was sitting in a business meeting at a Bojangles, and the guys at the next booth invited me to a Klan rally.
Mm, nice.
This
It
is
was a nice place to
I
be.
know.
That's embarrassing.
It was. It was.
I can't get her on
I was
here.
going to joke when he said it. So let me check with my rabbi, but I figured that probably.
That would be good.
A Zoom.
Okay, there you have Zoom. Okay, so we go
Join a meeting.
join a meeting.
You paste that thing in there.
Okay,
Just
hold
double
on.
click. Double click. Paste. There you
Paste.
go.
there we go.
Join. Just join.
Okay, join.
Leave.
There you go.
I'll see you in
Wait a
another
minute, wait a minute,
room.
wait a minute, wait a minute. Maybe you weren't there. Wait a minute.
Oh, wait. No.
About to get some feedback.
Meeting.
No. Okay, hold on a second. Join meeting. Go click this. Okay. All right. Boom. There we go.
Alex.
My meeting.
your
Okay,
audience-
done. Wait a minute. We're this is all a learning process for all of us.
I don't want to
Okay.
see that.
Okay. Please enter meeting password. Oh,
Oh, God. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
No, it's in.
yeah.
I'll try.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with her or anything. Oh, you guys got on okay. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Al K. Hold on a second. Al K. Holic. Let's see. Wait a minute. Is Al K there? Are you there, Al? Just connecting audio. Are you there, Al?
I am.
Okay. Do you have a camera at all?
Yeah, it should. I got to start it, of course.
There you go. There. Oh, I know Al, of course.
Come on.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah. He calls our nighttime show.
Well, I like the daytime format. It's
You know,
kind
something? I may say, screw the nighttime show. I got a full bunch of people here.
and no,
Plus, it's convenient for Mandy, you know. So
I'm not sleeping. Yeah.
oh,
yeah, and look what I love about Zoom is that you get to see things in people's homes. Like, for instance, on Len's camera, there's a cat sleeping there. You
Yeah.
carefully.
I saw that.
You know, and you get to see, you know what I found there? I have it turned on. There is a thing where you can turn it on and let me see, if you go up to your stuff, your various settings, there's a setting for touch up my appearance.
Where? Please show me that.
Yeah, go up to settings. That's that shield looking like thing up at the very
Okay.
top of your screen. Click on that. See where it says video?
Well, I'm on the phone app, so I don't know if I'll have
That's
that.
not on there.
No,
It's not on there. Oh,
I'm
okay.
at work, so I don't have a camera even on my
Well,
computer.
anyway, I have it so that it touches up my face all the time.
Yeah, you look like George Clooney. That's great.
Well, it looks like I've had a bad facelift.
Wait, I'm gonna touch up mine.
Can
Hey,
you believe it's been 40 years since the Mount St. Helens exploded?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Which makes me is another one of those things that makes me feel terribly old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
going, that just happened yesterday, didn't it?
Yeah.
40 years. Like,
I'm
dang.
wiping ash off my car.
What?
Hey,
Yeah.
Alex, I have the TV on in the background, and Penn Jillette is a guest on this dopey game show. And I was just wondering, do you still keep in touch with him at all, or?
I haven't talked to Penn in quite a while, but if I called him or if I wrote him, he'd probably write back.
Yeah, because I know you guys had an FU battle going on at one point about 40 years ago.
I still have the result of that. They made up a neon sign that said "Fuck you, Alex," and I have it in my kitchen.
I love that story.
What it was is I said "fuck you," and then he said "fuck me, fuck you," okay, and then "fuck your wife," and then we go back and forth, and it escalated to the point where they came in one morning, and Penn said, "Look in your newsroom," and they turned the light on, and they turned the neon light on. It said, and there was a teller with the sign, and it says "fuck you, Alex." Okay, so I had to top that. So when I did a show at the Frost Amphitheater with 9,000 people, I had all 9,000 people give the camera the finger. And so there's, you know, oh, the South Bay Comedy Picnic. Was it that one? I guess it was.
I think my hand was in there flipping them off too.
Oh, no
Yep,
shit. That's
And
great.
there were 9,000 people giving the camera the finger, and I made up a big poster and I gave it to.
That's
Hey,
great.
Alex, there's time for a news break. Trump just announced that for more than a week he's been taking hydroxychloroquine with zinc in case he gets the virus.
Good, maybe he'll die.
Trump told reporters he's been taking the drug with a zinc supplement for about a week and a half now.
What a maroon.
I sent him a UV light bulb and some lube.
You know, let's say it doesn't give you a heart attack. Let's say just, you know.
Yeah.
Why hasn't he had one? The crappiest he eats. I mean, you think he would-
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry, I never would wish it on him.
I would wish it on him.
coronavirus.
I would wish it on him.
If he gets coronavirus, he's in a very high risk group because he's fat.
Yeah.
I think that would be the most ironic. Like that would just be
Poetic justice.
so poetic. Exactly.
They do
For him to get the corona.
They do these things about how sad we are that this person's dead or that person's dead, and they show all the pictures of the people who were dead, and they're all fat.
Yeah.
You know, and so he's really in that high risk category. But, you know, I mean, they say that, yeah, it might give you a heart attack, this hydroxychloroquine or whatever it's called. But if it doesn't, the other worst part about it is it doesn't work.
Right.
You need to talk to Trump's doctor. He's the healthiest man on the planet that we have ever known.
And if you add 5 inches to his height,
that guy who looks just like the definition of the word quack.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
I know.
the guy later came out and said that he was paid to write that.
Yep. But nothing matters.
He admitted it was bullshit.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good thing that he's taking it.
Yeah.
The first time he's actually, well, if you believe he's actually taking it.
Yeah.
Right.
By the way, I just got a notification on my watch. Marjorie ran out of her sugar-free Hershey's chocolates. Every night we let ourselves have a couple of Hershey's sugar-free chocolates. It's kind of a treat, you know, and it's non-carb, not that.
Just eat dark chocolate. It's good for you.
Net
Yeah.
carbs. Well,
That's what I
its
thought.
net carbs are low, so that's fine. I have to keep looking up here to make sure nobody knew it's calling. And oh, here comes Mandy's iPhone.
Oh, that's me.
Okay. Anyway, there she is. Okay. She adds beauty to this group.
That was my job.
We really need it too.
But anyway,
Good
her chocolates, she ran out of her chocolates, and I had ordered more, but this was like 3 weeks ago, and it said it was coming May the 19th. So tomorrow's May the 19th, and I was worried that they still ain't coming. This is through Amazon.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just got a notification. They have just shipped them, and I guess I'm going to get them tomorrow on time because she is totally run out of them.
Do you know about Max Delivery, Alex?
No.
Max Delivery is grocery, liquor, everything you could want. They get it to you in the city, usually within an hour. It's amazing.
Within an hour?
Usually, and the prices are good. It's been a real discovery for me. Very helpful. So.
Max Delivery. I use Instacart.
Yeah, when people actually shop for you. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to. I don't want to go up to Costco. I consider it a petri dish.
Yep. No, absolutely.
And probably less of a petri dish than other places because it has high ceilings and there's a lot of space in there. But I don't want to shop there, so I hire Instacart. And it would have cost me $20 back and forth by cab.
Right.
Okay. So for about $17 more in charges, I can get them to do it. And it was that they, you'd order it on a Monday and they say it'll be here the following Monday. Now you order it and they say, what time do you want today?
Wow.
And I like this way. Last time I ordered, I placed the order at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and by noon they were knocking on my door.
Yeah, that's great.
That's great.
That's because they let them in early before
Yeah. And I had the toilet paper,
Yeah, I found toilet paper this weekend.
Yeah.
Big
Is
deal.
there a toilet paper shortage out there at this time, or is that?
Well, there has been. You're lucky to catch it, but like I went Saturday morning to shop for my mother, and there was several packs, like more than just two.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe this is going to start getting better.
So I could
Now,
probably put the garden
here's the
outside.
other big question. How many here actually been kind of in quarantine? I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Qualified.
Most of us. Yeah. Mandy's lucky she lives in Georgia where you're allowed to get sick.
But I'm very limited. Just coming to this office and home. This
And
office and home.
basically,
Store. That's it.
basically you've quarantined yourself, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just have to come to this office, and there's only been 3 people.
As I said, there are two things that have started to occur: quarantine beards
Yeah.
and quarantine hair.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
God.
women, it's getting grayer,
Yeah.
and for guys, it's maybe they just don't shave. Why?
Right.
Who's coming
Well, I
over?
did go get my hair done Wednesday. My hairdresser started back up because the
Yeah.
governor allowed it, but I did wait 3 weeks from the time he opened it
Well,
that back
I
up.
was getting shaggier than the shaggy can get. Okay. And I couldn't find these clippers I liked. And then somebody wrote me and said, go to eBay. And I hadn't even thought about that. I went to eBay. Sure enough, they had the clippers there for $70, was what they normally go for.
Mhm.
And Marjorie's kept wanting to cut my hair. And I call it the Delilah complex. All women want to cut their men's hair. All right. And so I reluctantly had her use these things. And damn it, if she didn't do a great job. I mean,
Look at
it's
that.
not much style
Yes,
have to do with this, But nevertheless, it's really nice and it's growing out well. And how are you doing with that head of hair, Kevin?
Oh, fine, no problem.
Really? Was somebody cutting it for you?
Oh, hell no. No, I just let it go. Like I told you the other night, I go to my haircut once a month, and I'll go 3 months, and I go a couple weeks, and I go another 3 months. She says I'm crazy.
Here's somebody who never calls me, and I always talk about him. He's my best friend, and I call him that because all my other best friends are dead. Why don't you turn it sideways there, Shecky. Then we'll get a landscape. Yeah, there we go.
Yucky.
Yeah. And that, ladies and gentlemen, in his bed from home for the first time ever on this program.
Well, I
Mr.
use Zoom.
Huh?
Oh, Jesus.
I'll Zoom. I won't use the other one.
It's easy to do, isn't it?
Yes, very easy.
Very easy. And Shecky has been my friend for how many years now?
78 or 79, I think we met.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And
He was a birthday gift to my friend Steve Weiner.
And
That's
you
how
didn't
we-
return, huh?
yeah, because Steve Weiner was a fan of mine. And
Right.
I was the gift to you or to him?
No, to Steve. Lori,
Yeah, and
got
so
us together.
you invited me to go to a lunch or something, and there I was, and he had his every wish. Can you imagine how ridiculously low people are setting the bar? The person they want to meet most in life is me,
Hush.
you know.
and they're still friends.
And anyway, Shecky's my go-to guy for a lot of stuff, and he knows he is literally I'd call you a film historian.
Okay, but
Well, I mean, he talks about movies. I was watch this, folks. I was watching a movie today, which is a very good movie. I'm going to mention it to him. It was made in 1916,
Whoa.
and it was called The Shoes.
oh, that's what's her name, right?
Yeah.
A female director.
Lois Weber.
Lois Weber. She was a director in film in 1916 and
Wow.
became the highest paid director at Universal.
Whoa.
Huh.
So when you say we don't have any female directors, back then there were quite a few female directors, weren't there?
Yes, and also very often most of the scenario writers were women in that era.
Yes.
Either Anita Luce or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Why were the doors open back then?
What'd you say, Al?
Why were the doors open for women back then?
I think because it was too new an industry and they take anybody who was a passerby, right? Would that be-
Yes. Yeah. But Lillian Gish directed. I mean, they all directed in that era.
Mhm.
Mm.
And then just whatever happened.
Yeah, happened. But you see, there I just talked about the most obscure movie you could think about. Anybody ever heard of The Shoes?
I thought you were going to say The Christmas Shoes,
No.
which
Right.
was the dumbest Hallmark Channel movie ever.
Yeah, absolutely. But I got to tell you, this movie, I was watching it, and it's really very poignant. How is it looked upon, Shecky, in retrospect as a film?
It was not seen until the last year or two, so it doesn't have that much of a reputation.
Oh, okay. All right. But you knew about it prior to that, right?
Yeah. But again, if you want to talk about me, I spent 2 days watching Gordon of Ghost City, 1933 Universal.
Why did it take you 2 days?
It was a Buck Jones serial. So I watched 6 chapters one day and 6 chapters the next day.
So this is what he does, And so he's my go-to guy on almost anything movies.
So I will say, right before that, I watched the restoration of Mystery, the Wax Museum that came out this week.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Stunning.
Color restoration.
1933.
That was 2-strip Technicolor, right?
Yeah. Lionel Atwill, Fay Ray, Linda Farrell, Frank McHugh.
Yeah.
But the restoration, because they have one of those before and after videos,
Mhm.
absolutely stunning.
Is it a Criterion?
No, it's a Warner Archive.
Okay.
Warner Archive went to that trouble, huh?
No, they did it. UCLA did it.
Oh, okay.
It's the Criterion channel has saved my life during this.
I gotta run. I gotta be at a 5:30 meeting. Nice to meet you.
I have to run too. I have to go to the post
Andrew's
office.
leaving us. Everybody wave goodbye to Andrew. Goodbye, Andrew.
Mandy's going too.
I have to go to the post office.
Who else is going?
Mandy, I have to go to the post office.
You got to go. Maybe we'll call this
Don't
thing
read
off.
anything into that. I'm in a different state.
Okay.
All right.
All righty. Okay. Bye-bye.
I will make sure I check my Facebook often to see if you're
I,
going to do
I,
these little
I
pop-up
hope you
meetings.
will, because I'm going to do more of these, and I may do them on YouTube as well. So you might just check when Yeah, maybe I will do them earlier. Look at all the people we have.
Right?
You
Yeah.
don't have any.
Hey,
You don't
they're
have any
different
set
people
schedule.
that normally are at the later show.
What?
I said they look like they're people I haven't seen at the later show.
Oh no, that's right. It's absolutely right, and it got all filled up. And so Brian Neary's about the only. Brian and Kevin are the only two from the normal show.
What time do you do the normal show?
We do that at 10 o'clock at night on YouTube.
11.
And so 7 o'clock.
Bye bye, Mandy.
Bye,
We'll
Mandy.
miss you. Okay. But anyway, so Shecky has been always my go-to guy on films. And
By the
now
way, did you see that Ken Osmond died today?
Yeah, I just saw that.
Ken Osmond.
Eddie
Eddie Haskell.
Eddie Haskell. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. I was never a big fan of Leave It to Beaver, but I know who Eddie Haskell was.
I love that show.
And Mark Maron's partner died, right?
Yes, the director, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name now. Yeah.
Really? That's sad.
The director of what?
He was actually, I never saw a film of hers, but she was one of those quirky directors in the last 10, 15 years.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
His last stand-up special.
Well, are they dying of corona, these people?
No, she had a blood disorder of some sort that they didn't diagnose.
Because now it seems that in all the obituaries, they have to say non-COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you think automatically, she's dead? Oh, COVID? You know?
Well, did you see, Donald is taking that hydro, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I'm counting on my watch the hours till his death. You know.
Maron's last stand-up special on Netflix is unbelievable. The thing he does about Mike Pence at the end is one of the funniest 15 minutes I've heard in a long time.
I've never been a big fan of Mark's because I knew
Me
him
neither.
personally, and he's a big prick.
Yeah, he seems like it, and I'm not a big fan, but this is really funny.
Rodney?
Alex, I believe Bob Rubin's special is finally on Netflix today.
Oh, is it on finally? The whole just his?
I understand that Patton Oswalt really stood up for him to get it up on there.
Yeah, but so it's finally on there. Okay, 'cause I know that he did it, and I think I may have even contributed somewhat financially to it, but I can't remember if I did or I didn't. You know,
Been a long time coming.
Yeah, long time coming. I don't know if it'll do him any good, but we'll see. You know? But
lighten up, everybody. The room's here.
Yeah. Last night I watched that new show, Shecky, Star Girl.
I know you said I haven't watched it yet, but you said it was very good.
It is terrific.
What's it about?
It's about this. It's about this girl, and she lives with her mother, and her mother is now taken up with this new man who's become, I think, either her husband or has become her partner.
Well, it's Luke Wilson, I think.
It's Luke Wilson, yeah. And in the beginning, Luke Wilson is involved with this guy called
Sylvester Pem. Well, he was Sylvester Pemberton, wasn't he?
Yeah, but his
well, Star Spangled Kid and Stripesy.
Yeah, Star Spangled Kid, and he dies. He's played by the guy who was on Joel McHale.
Okay.
And he dies. And anyway, she goes to have to live with this new father, so to speak, when her other father just disappeared. And what we begin to find out in this first episode is that her father was, in fact, the guy who died. And she inherits the spear. And this is all an evolutionary thing. It's amazing how much they packed into an hour to get it moving forward. But there was just something about it that I really liked. It was far more cinematic than any of those other shows on the CW. And since it has nothing to do with the Arrowverse or any of those other shows.
Well, it's set on Earth 2, theoretically, the other Earth.
Yeah, but it's terrific.
It's a DC comic, right?
It's really quite terrific.
It airs tomorrow night on the CW.
It wasn't on last night?
No, it's on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. This was a preview.
Oh, okay, then
It was on the DC Universe channel today.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
And on that other site we won't mention, you can download it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where it came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look for that.
But it's really quite good. I mean, you know, if you like things like Supergirl and DC Legends of Tomorrow and stuff like that, this I think is maybe the best thing that Greg Berlanti has done in a long time.
And luckily they have a half a full season to go because they started it late.
We started filming it late?
No, they had them in the can.
Oh, I see. And how many do they have in the can?
I'm not sure the exact number, but it was supposed to start like in March, and they held it
Oh, okay.
for when Flash ended.
Yeah, because you get ready for the fall. There's going to be no TV.
Right.
You know, because nobody's filming right now and they have to get a head start on the season, and nobody's gotten a head start on the season. Even the shows that are done in Toronto and Quebec and places like that, have all been shut down. So we're going to be sitting here with absolutely no product. I mean, I don't know what Netflix is going to do.
Well, you know, the CW said they're not starting the season until January.
Yeah. If then.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends if these, these movie companies can get. I think Tyler Perry's studio down in Georgia is back in operation.
Well, the BBC is supposedly back in a week or two in Britain.
Oh, okay.
I think we're going to get a big flood of really bad stuff that's been on hold.
Well, I'm sure the shows they canceled never released that we'll be getting. You know what we're getting here. There is they ran Cosmos, the second season of Cosmos, on like the Discovery Channel or someplace like that. Still produced by Seth MacFarlane and all of that, and I think maybe even bought and paid for by Fox, who originally ran it. But they had no intention of running this thing on their network. It's now on their fall schedule.
That's right.
And it's being listed as the network run.
Yeah.
And I think the reason is they don't have any programming.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what's going to happen. What's going to happen with Shecky with all those Korean animated?
I don't know. But, you know, I think, and I am not paying that much attention, One Day at a Time did an animated episode, and a few of those other ones have done that.
Yeah.
You're going to have to start doing everything animated nowadays.
And then people could voice them from home, you know.
Right.
Either that or somebody's going to have to come up with a face condom so somebody can fucking kiss somebody.
Oddly enough, on things like Family Guy, a lot of the voices are done from people's homes.
Well, they're done in their garage studio.
Yeah.
You know, they have a studio somewhere in the house, and that's where they do the voicing.
Yeah. And so this has been going on for quite a while with animation, but I mean, it's a lot of people out of work right now.
Didn't Mel Blanc do most of his voiceover for Barney Rubble in the hospital bed or something like that?
When he had that car accident or whatever it was for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And that was that period, not to go back. Barney Rubble didn't sound right for a couple of months, you know, for that period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did have a big car wreck, didn't he?
It was a massive, you know, he was almost dead.
Yeah, I met him after that. So, and he was okay. He was fine, you know. We had lunch and he ordered.
Did he show you his porn collection?
Yes, no, but he had these little cards. You know, those little cards that had dirty sayings on them. And he would you'd be having lunch and you'd be talking with him, and all of a sudden he'd hand you one of these cards. And you'd look at it, and it was a stupid joke, you know.
That's why I did voices instead of writing.
I tried to shit, but only farted. Oh, that's hilarious. And the guy did the voices of every animated cartoon character at Warner Brothers except for Elmer Fudd. Wow. You know, but he ordered lunch, I remember, as Porky Pig.
Oh, no.
And asked for the check as Bugs Bunny. And I didn't even have to ask him to do that, you know.
That's
do you think the staff, the writing staff here was there?
Yeah, it was
I hope he didn't order the bacon.
We should order the bacon as Porky Pig, yeah.
Sausage and eggs, please.
No, I was doing my Midnight Blue thing at Screw Magazine, and Al Goldstein was supposed to go out to lunch with him because he loves Screw Magazine. And Al couldn't go, and he said, "Would you go take Mel out to lunch?" And so I went out to lunch with Mel Blanc, and and he asked me. I went, "Of course I will." You know, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
But am I right? He did almost every voice except Elmer Fudd, right?
No, what's his name? The one you like.
Well, Stan Freberg did come later on.
Like around 1950. It's what's his name? The one who worked with Billy May.
Yeah, Stan Freberg.
Stan Freberg did a lot of the voices.
But
it was in his contract that you couldn't put their credits on the screen.
That's right.
Wow.
So you never saw B. Benadet's name or June Foray.
Well, the females he didn't do, like the witch.
No, that was June Foray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going up on it again. But those, what's his name? Stan Freberg did a bunch of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's getting a little late, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are getting tired, and you got better things to do than to talk to some old 80-year-old guy on the tube. But you allowed me to really do a nice test with this Zoom on directly onto Facebook, and I'm telling you, it looks spectacular, and it has worked out spectacularly. So, what can I say?
Is there a way when you decide to do it, you could post what time it's going to happen?
I did on the Facebook page.
Okay, because I just happened to be on Facebook and saw it. But
Ahead of time. I can probably do it ahead of time, and I might even try doing my nighttime show this way too. I can put it over on YouTube as well. Al, you haven't said much of anything, Al.
You never got a chance to say anything. So
you're usually
finding out about this new daytime schedule. It's like, well, when's the next one?
I may start doing this every Monday about this time because it's my day off, and I love having you guys there. And oh, by the way, here is look at Kevin. That's the new treatment, right, for COVID? Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna go put a Tide Pod up my ass, and I'll talk to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Al. And of course, to my old pal.
Thank you, Alex.
Okay.
I'm going to try and join the evening show sometime if I can.
Okay. We'll try. Maybe we'll start using Zoom. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I never got Shecky to do my show at all until this.
Well, I just remember at a moment, 10 minutes ago. Oh, wait a minute. He was doing it at 4:00. Let me see if it's still going.
Yeah. Well, here we are. Hey, thanks to all of you. I really appreciate it. And
thank you, sir. Have a good one.
It's all right.
Alex.
Okay.